Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be testing some of the items that I got in my last makeup haul. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below. But basically I won a £100 giveaway from Makeup Obsession, so I've got a bunch of products to test out today. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm filming in natural lighting today since it's nice weather. So hopefully this will be exciting and you will enjoy it. I've already got my base on because I don't have any new base products to test out. I've got the Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation on, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer and the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer as well. Let's start with eyes and eyebrows first and then we'll move on to the rest of the face. So for my eyebrows I've got the Makeup Obsession So Fine Brow Pencil in the shade Dark Brown. And this is what it looks like. It's a really pretty pastel blue packaging, which is soft touch, and it's got a nice amount of weight to it, so this definitely feels more expensive than it was. I think this was £4, so I'm very excited to try this. Hopefully this will be a good colour match. They did have a black shade, I think, but I don't really tend to buy straight up black eyebrow pencils. This is what the tip of the brow pencil looks like. Very fine, as the name implies. So I'm just going to go in very lightly, and I like to start filling out the tail of my brow first. Okay, that already looks a lot fuller than the other one. And then at the front, I just like to do a few upward strokes like this, very lightly. Let's start filling in the other one, and then I'll brush them out with the spoolie right at the very end. I also feel like with how fine this tip is that you can get a lot of precision, which is very good. Alright, and then we'll switch over to the spoolie side of the eyebrow pencil and I'll just soften it out. So that's the brows done with this So Fine eyebrow pencil. I'm really happy with how they look actually. I think they look pretty natural, they're filled in nicely, which is what I like, and it took me about 5 minutes to do, so yeah, I like this. Alright, let's move on to the exciting part to me, which is the eyes. So I had two eyeshadow palettes that I got in my previous haul, which was the Crystal Waves one and this Keep It Fresh one, both from Makeup Obsession. And I think I'm going to use this one today, and I'll save the Crystal Waves one for another testing video. So this palette is just a really cute 9-shade palette full of minty green shades. It is really small. For size reference, it fits in the palm of your hand. You don't get a lot of product, you get 0.38 grams, I think. 9 times 0.013 ounces. Yeah, so this is a really small palette, but it is cute and full of interesting shades. I've already primed my eyelids with my Milani eyeshadow primer. Just to quickly also mention that this is one of the palettes that has pressed pigments in there that aren't advised for use around the immediate eye area. Hopefully you can see that, but it's shade number 2 in this palette. So the second one on the top row. Let's go in with Cool Down first. The size of the pans, for reference, they're just about big enough for you to get your eyeshadow brush into it. So this is like a satin shade, and I think I'll just run that all throughout my crease. Wow, that is a lot of pigment. Wow, this shade is gorgeous. Alright, you know what? Let's go in and cut the crease now. I'm gonna do like a half sort of cut crease thing. I'm gonna attempt it anyway. This is my first time, so I'm going to load my brush up with some of the eye primer. We'll go in with Spearmint, and I'll just load this up on this brush. Oh, that's picking up quite well. Beautiful icy mint shade. Right, let's go in with a finger and see if it intensifies it any more. Wow, that is so gorgeous. And then let's go into another shimmer. I'm thinking I want to do this more sort of spring green one over here called Bite Me. I think that would be really nice to fade into it. So I'm going to load that onto the brush. Again, this seems to pick up quite well in the center. Oh, that is really pretty. I really want to try and overlap these two shimmer shades to get a nice blend. So these shimmers aren't really like the most metallic ones I've ever tried, but they definitely have a really nice sheen to them. Right, I'm gonna try and go back into Cool Down again, this one, and fade the green shimmer into it. I'm going to clean off my brush, and then I think we'll go into the matte shade in this palette, which is this one, this green called Super Chill. And we'll just add a tiny amount of that into the very outer sort of edge. It actually isn't very dark at all. These two shades are what's on the outer third of my eye here, but if you look at them in the pan, this is the satin shade that I started off with, and then this is the matte. This definitely looks darker than this one, but on my eye, you're not really seeing that much depth. It's a really, really pretty teal green shade, but it's just not adding the depth that I thought it would. The matte is blending out quite nicely. I'm just going to grab a pencil brush and put some of these shades on my lower lash line. Soften those edges. And there we go. This is what the eyes look like so far. I'm not the best at blending eyeshadow or anything like that, and I feel like I was able to sufficiently diffuse the matte and satin shades, and I think it looks really, really nice. So I'm just going to curl my eyelashes, put on mascara, and then we can move on to the rest of the face. Alright, so that is the mascara on. Let's move on to the rest of the face. So I do have a contour product to try, and this is the iHeartRevolution Medium Contour Palette. Their new chocolate contour palette. It smells divine, like this really nice deeper chocolate scent, not very strong at all. So let's give this one a go. This does look quite dark, so I'm going to go in with a very light hand and see how that works. I gently go into the hollows of my cheeks. Oh, that's pigmented. Only dipped in very lightly as well. Okay, I feel like that's added a nice shadow and it's blended out quite easily. It's not patchy to me at all. This colour, I will say, is a bit warmer than the usual contour shades that I go for, but it doesn't look too warm that it looks odd. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that actually. Now this highlighter does look absolutely gorgeous, but I do have a separate highlighter that I want to use, so I will save this highlighter for another video. So then for blush, I've got this Makeup Obsession Cheek and Lip Duo. I'm trying to get onto the cream / stick blush hype train that's going on right now, and I picked this gorgeous orangey shade called Number One Crush. So this is for your cheek and your lips. Maybe I'll try with my fingers first, and if that doesn't work well, I can go in with a brush. Now the number one thing that I'm looking out for with this sort of product is whether it moves my foundation and concealer underneath. I deliberately didn't powder the cheek area because I knew I wanted to go in with this blush, but I did powder my other areas. Hopefully this doesn't disturb and move around the coverage that I have underneath, because I do have a number of spot scars there, so I'd rather it didn't move it around. So this feels very creamy and smooth. It's not thick at all, very light feeling, sort of like a gel texture. Oh, that's quite sheer. Okay, let me go in with a bit more. It's not really disturbing or removing the coverage underneath, which I'm very, very happy about. It's melding in very nicely, I'd say. This shade is a little lighter and a little more pastel than I thought it would be. I still think it looks nice, but I think I would have preferred it if it looked more like it does in this stick. The sort of deeper tone that is in this stick would suit my complexion more than this paler one. You can build this up, but it's not really looking like the same colour that's in this. But considering how pale the shade is and how pastel it is, I feel like it won't look very nice on my lips. Let's try it on the lips. As I said, I think it will be too pasty for my lips, but we'll give it a go. Oh yeah, That is like concealer lips right there. Hello, this is Ling from the dead. This is not it for the lips, not at all. But aside from the colour, the actual formula of it on the lips, whilst it's really comfortable and thin and gel-like, it's really, really grabbing to the lines on my lips. I did exfoliate my lips and I'd applied lip balm before the start of this makeup application, so for it to look this bad and grab at the lines on my lips, even with that preparation, it's just, yeah, I think this formula is better suited for the cheeks and not the lips. Maybe other shades in the range would be better for the lips. Aside from the actual colour that I don't like the way it looks on the lips either. I'll see if I can do a little close-up for you. Can you see it going immediately into all of my lip lines? Now that I've got my blush on, let me set the cheeks so then I can apply the highlighter. Next, let's go into highlighter, and I've got this iHeartRevolution Tasty Peach one. Adorable. Smells heavenly like peaches. And you've got two shades in here. You've got this bigger peachy pink one, and then you've got a smaller champagne shade as well. Because my blush shade was a peachy shade, I'm going to go in with the peachy pink one. So I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques setting brush, which I like to use for highlight. This is really pretty and soft. It's by no means a blinding or ultra metallic highlight. You can build up to be stronger, but it doesn't really emphasize texture, and it's got a really nice peachy pink shift. So I'm quite pleased with how this is looking. And then now, the other option for a lip product I have is one of the iHeartRevolution Tasty Peach Lip Oils, and this is an orange shade. What's this one? This one is in Peach Juice. Again, like the highlighter, smells amazingly of peaches. Ooh, this feels really nice. The texture of this is really, really lovely. It's not a really thick oil or a really thin feeling oil. It's got a really nice consistency. It's not super slick or super greasy, oily feeling. There's like a nice amount of grip to it. I really like it. I sort of wish for me that it had just a little bit more of an orange hint of a colour, but I mean, I guess with lip oils the main thing is just to moisturize your lips rather than give it a lot of colour, so that's fair enough. I mean, it's really pleasant and really nice feeling on the lips, so I will definitely be using more of it. I just wish personally for me that it had a bit more of an orange colour. But I think I'm going to go and get a more orange toned lip product and put a little bit on top, just because I feel like I look a little bit dead when I don't have enough pigment on my lips. The lip product that I've chosen to put a bit of on top of the lip oil is my Tony Moly Spoiler Lip Pencil, and this is in the shade Coral Pumpkin. There we go, that's more like it for me. That's the sort of level of orange that I would have wanted from the lip oil. I think I need a little bit more powder over my T-zone, but other than that I think I'll be good. And this is it. This is the finished look with everything on. I'll give you a close-up of the face and the eyes. I'm very, very happy with how this look turned out. I think these minty teal green shades look really, really gorgeous. Let me just run through everything really quickly to give you my final thoughts. So this Keep It Fresh eyeshadow palette I think is really, really nice. Although this is a small palette and you don't get a lot of product, for £5 and the quality of these shadows, I think this is fine and this is worth it. I really enjoyed how these shadows performed. The one matte shade and the satins and shimmers blended out really nicely, and the shimmers look really quite nice. Definitely not the most foiled or metallic shimmers that I've ever tried. I think the shades were easy to work with, the tones are really flattering, I guess a con could be, other than that it's small, that there is only one matte shade, which is this one here. So if you're someone that likes matte shades, then you probably won't like this palette very much. I think to really enjoy this palette and to think it's worth it for yourself, you'd have to enjoy working with shimmers and of course like this color scheme. So if you're interested in trying out these sorts of tones and you don't want to pay a lot, for £5 I think this is a really good option to test out if you like these sorts of shades, and I'm really happy with this and I will definitely be using this more. And then we have the Eyebrow Pencil, which is the So Fine Brow Pencil. It filled in my brows really nicely. The really fine tip makes it easy to get a lot of precision when you're filling them in. You get a nice amount of pigmentation from this brow pencil, but it's not overwhelming, and I feel like the spoolie on the other end brushes out the product and disperses it really nicely, so you get a nice soft brow. So I'm really happy with this one too. This iHeartRevolution contour palette I think is quite nice too. The matte shade, as I said, is slightly warmer than I'd usually go for with a contour palette, but I still feel like it's cool enough that it works as a contour. It blended out really nicely, which I was really happy with. It doesn't look patchy at all. But I will say this is really quite pigmented. I only dipped in very lightly. I think this would last you an absolute age considering how pigmented it is, and the fact you only need a very, very small amount. I didn't try this highlighter, so I can't comment on that, but the contour powder I think is quite nice. Then we have the blush, this cheek and lip duo. So this for me it's alright, I'd say. I don't know if it's because the colour wasn't quite what I was expecting. I think I would have enjoyed it more if it was more true to colour, like this orangey shade that I see. It is quite a sheer cheek product. You can build it up a bit, but you're never going to get a really blushy look at all. And this colour is more of a pastel, sheerer, white-based peachy shade rather than this orange that you see here. But if you're fine with that, then it does perform quite well on the cheeks. It blends out really easily, meshes with the skin. It doesn't remove your foundation or concealer underneath. So I think that's a really, really good quality about it. Although I will say that I don't like this on the lips. It really clung immediately to the lines of my lips and it just made it look really horrible, essentially. This was, I guess, so-so for me. It wasn't a complete success, but it wasn't a failure either. Next up, we've got the iHeartRevolution Tasty Peach Highlighter. I really like this. I will say that this is a softer highlighter. It definitely gives you more of a subtle glow. I did try building it up a bit, and you do get a bit more of a shine, but it's nothing that's going to be an ultra metallic or blinding highlighter. So if you're more into those kinds of formulas, then this won't really be for you. But if you want a more subtle glow from within sort of highlight, then this is definitely it. I think it looks really pretty on the face. Didn't really emphasize texture at all. And then lastly, the Tasty Peach Lip Oil. It feels really lovely on your lips. It makes it feel hydrated. It's not really greasy or slippy feeling. For me, as I said, I would have preferred it if it had a bit more colour, but I mean, you could tell from the tube anyway that it was going to be a sheerer lip shade, but that's fine. This is a sheerer lip oil. It's really, really comfortable, and I really do like this. So that's everything. That wraps up my trying on of the new makeup / haul that I got from my giveaway. I am really happy with basically most of these products. I love this look. I think it looks really flattering and gorgeous. Yeah, so I had fun filming this. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.